Hi, welcome back to my channel, Ascended Empress 3. Today we're going to do a very lengthy reading, and first I'm just going to tap in to see the energy for right now. Take a deep breath. Alright, let's begin. So let's figure out what you're going through right now and any advice. Alright, let's see what's collective going through right now. We got the King of Swords. Alright, so we have the King of Swords, Two of Chalices, and the Knight of Pentacles. So what I'm already getting is someone is being very sharp, very cutthroat, very to the point in the exchange, in the things that are the cups that are being filled. Who you're speaking with, who you're working with, and how are those cups being filled, you know, emotionally, like is it giving you what you need? But I'm gonna go ahead and read what it says from here, just because they usually it's very different. So let's see. King of Swords says the Lord of War, magistrate, authority, ideological battle, matter of principles. So yeah, so someone is standing on business when it comes to how they show up, how they require others to show up for them, how they're being treated by others. And we're gonna see Two of Chalices, and the Staircase of Seth, desire, artistic affinity, disagreements to be smoothed out. So that could be the challenge at the moment of how you're showing up, how you're asking other people to show up, and how to handle those disagreements with others, how you communicate, because the Swords is all about the mental disagreements. This could be in your head as well, but it could be because, like, let's say the Swords is very mental, right? So like there could be a discord between your mind and heart, in my opinion, or body as well, you know, body and spirit. So like the way I see it with this is the staircase, in this case it's like the snakes represent Kundalini when it comes to your back, right? So it's kind of, to me it's kind of saying your body staircase going all the way up to your mind. So there must be like a disagreement between what you're thinking about and what you're feeling like doing. So your desires are not in accord to what you should do. And I get that, we've all been there. So maybe you're dealing with some certain types of addiction, certain types of patterns, behaviors from yourself or others. So this applies for others as well, others around you. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, it's the messenger of riches, a businessman, consultant, or service. So maybe you're dealing with something, not maybe, it seems like you're dealing with something that requires other people, and the way you show up or the way you demand others to show up for you matters a lot. And you might be cleaning out house, meaning whoever doesn't agree with this King of Swords energy, like if you're gonna speak about boundaries, if you're gonna speak about, hey, this is how I would like to do things from now on, whoever is in disagreement with that, so if there's any discord from the desire to build the pentacles, right, to take action and stuff in the service, then they might have to, you know, go another way. So we're just gonna go ahead and clarify that with another deck. Can you tell us more about the King of Swords? Anything else you can tell us about the King of Swords? Oh my gosh, why do I always do this? The way I, like, seriously, no. No. I'm gonna have to find another way to shuffle. And I'm gonna be I haven't done it yet in the readings, but I'm gonna start scrying as well. Um, I have a crystal ball at the moment, and I'm seeing a ribbon. So I'll just see what else comes with that eventually. So this one fell on top of the Knight of Pentacles, so we're just gonna leave it here. And can you tell us more about the Two of Chalices, please? All right. So we have, wow. So yeah, so this is an addiction. This is something, an old cycle, something that wounded you, that hurt you. So the King of Swords is with the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, so something was a loss. So something needs to go, something needs to end. And that's something that's disagreeing. It's the devil. It's the addiction that it's not serving you. It has you going in a cycle of unhealthy patterns that it keeps coming back to suffering. So instead of building your abundance, your business, like you keep like being debilitated by this devil energy. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get more information about that. And let's see, how can this be dealt? How can the devil energy be dealt, or what needs to happen? So, okay, so yes, we want the Nine of Cups. So I guess, like, let's say happy, abundant, excited, satisfied. So there might not be a satisfaction with what's going on. So if your new focus is to enjoy the work, favorable work, so for the good finance, so it might need to be like, okay, you need to reassess your life, reassess your job, reassess your businesses, the people you're working with, and where this is all taking you. So let's just get two more cards. At the bottom we have Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Page of Cups, which is like, it's all really good. The Moon, it's something that's hidden. The Eight of Cups is like, you know, like something you're a loss, you're walking away from something. But then from that you have another Ace of Cups and an Ace of Wands, but something needs to die. And an Emperor, you either this is your energy or someone who's coming in to work with you's energy. So there's a lot, there's like, you know, oh, I'm getting, all right. So there's good news on the way. But right now you're dealing with this devil-like energy, which needs to be cut off. You need to come forth with this King of Swords energy. And either it will help you, once you deal with that, it will help you start anew. Like there's, like, Empress 3 Tarot has 3 wands. And right now we have 3 wands. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and Ace of Wands. And to me, that's complete, it's alignment, right? But we also have the Four of Wands, which is like 1111 is peace, is harmony, blessings, the harvest of your work. And Nine of Cups is also, it's a Pisces energy. It has Jupiter, so it's expansion as well. So you're whatever you're building on, you're trying to expand, but you need to also let go of certain things in order to branch on and expand on that energy. So there's gonna be good news. It seems like it's a loving situation, or an important message, but it's messages of love. Like Page of Cups is something in regards to love, something that you don't see, but the truth, a secret, a dream. So someone maybe around you might be coming forth, or you might be the person revealing this to someone else. But the Death, it just sends liberation, empowerment. So either if you accept this message of love or something like that, it might just come forth, you know, like you might just have to like be very wary of where this is coming from. Either the other person has this devil-like energy that you don't want in your life, so there might be a loss. You might have to walk away from something, you know, a breakup or something. Someone else is leaving it, or you. But then we have the Sun and the Moon, the Sun and the Moon, the Moon and the Sun. And with that, it's just like just look at your sun signs and the moon signs that you have, and then check out like how that makes you feel in the day, how that affects you, if that makes sense. But you basically need to liberate yourself from these attachments, these things that are keeping you hostage. And hostage, I mean like in the cycle way. Like if you're going around in cycles, that's kind of like you kind of like not free. Like you're, if something affects you, if something triggers you, affects you, makes you change your frequency, then that controls you in a way, you know? That's what, I don't know who says that, but that's a truth that I've learned to live by. And and on that, like you're gonna find your emperor energy. So you're in the ascended Empress 3 tarot, and that's your feminine side. So this is asking for some action, for some doing, for some passion and desires that need to come forth, but there needs to be a death of those addictions. It could be anything. Some people are addicted to anything. And right now at the bottom of the deck we have the Hangman. At the top of the deck we have Temperance. So you have to temper something, you have to balance something. The mind, between the mind and the body, you have to be careful, have that equal balance. So how you treat others, do you want to be treated like that? And that goes for business, for relationships, and but most importantly starts with yourself. So I feel like the Lovers, yeah, so if this is involving someone else, then friendships, relationships, there has to be trust. If you, but then like if you don't even trust yourself, like I used to say that jokingly before, and I've heard people who say that, it's like I wouldn't even trust me. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, how do you expect others to treat you? How do you expect others to trust you? How do you trust others? Of course they have trust issues, and it's become so like normalized to be like, I have trust issues, but it's like it's not really that cute. It's like unfavorable, because like of course most of the relationships that you have, if you have trust issues, like they're gonna eventually crumble apart or fail, you know? So there has to be a death of something in order for this to come through. And this is Gemini energy, the Lovers. We have the same angel coming forth here. We have the Sun energy, which is the truth. It's something being ignited. It could be the Christ consciousness as well. You could be becoming a little bit more conscious about your intuition and your masculine. How does this affect your business? How does this affect your daily life? And if the Lovers, let's say in this case, if it's not romantic at all, but it kind of shows it is, it could be like a twin flame situation if you believe in that. Or it could just be like a very strong connection, a very strong corded connection that it could have stemmed, or it could have exposed some addictions that you had. And there needs to be some type of death, or yeah, like maybe how does this empower me to move forward in my life? How can I purify whatever happened, and how can I purify forward? You know what I mean? So let's see what else comes back. So yeah, so you're constrained because of something. So either the idea of something, because remember the first things we saw, it was the mental, and it was the King of Swords. So you need to be decisive in what you need to cut, but you can't, how could you cut through something if you're blindfolded? Then you trust, right? That's like the Two of Swords energy. But in this case, this person is like tied up, so you can't even hold up a sword and cut it yourself. So yeah, so we got the Eight of Cups somewhere over here, and then we got the Eight of Swords. So there's still something that is causing you pain that you need to and we got the Two of Swords over here. I split the deck. So yeah, so decisive action is like the King of Swords is just like, once you decide on something, just go ahead and do it. You have new beginnings waiting for you to be started, to be begun. And right here we have the Two of Wands, which is planning. It's balance, like the two and the two, you know, the Lovers, the Two of Cups, is planning. It's growth, initiation. So like either you're thinking of doing a business, starting a business. It could be just yourself, or it could involve someone else. Let's see, does it involve someone else? The Tower. So maybe you were working with someone. In this case, it shows two people, but maybe you were already working with someone, and now you're just like, how do I proceed? How do I change this? Either it could be business, or let's say even if it's personal, like if there is a breakup, it's like, how do I proceed when there's so many things at risk, right? So the Tower is saying ruin. The decapitated pyramid is the death of hope, the ruin of constructions, arrogance, presumptions, prison, ruin, desperation, punishment, and lack of balance. So yeah, so right now the Temperance card is asking for balance. Or like, let's say if this Tower already happened, and now here I see like a 7, so that could be significant for any of you. But let's say if this Tower already happened, the way to construct from here on out, the beginnings, right? Plan correctly, and as you go forward, make sure that there's like, you gotta purify the soul. Let yourself grieve through whatever you just happened. Let yourself kind of like take the rest, take the pause, because sometimes when we step back, we can see things a little bit more clearer, right? This person is holding the world there. They're basically kind of like showing like, I from a different perspective. Like I can see things from a different perspective, and so yeah. Let's see anything else that the querent needs to hear. So yeah, so there needs to be justice, the perception, balance, again, coming forward. Libra, it's all about fairness, integrity, taking accountability. So if there's places that you need to take accountability, it's not all on the other person's job to do it. Like there has to be always the equilibrium. Like how are you also taking accountability? Like are you being fair or unfair? Like are you expecting others to show up a certain way, but then you're not even showing up that way? So that's the consciousness. Like once you know better, you're being asked to do better and to play fair, basically. I mean, it's not a game, but if you like the analogy of like life's a game, or love is, you know, everything's whatever, it's like, then you have to play fair. Like what is the integrity of the decisions that you're taking? So let's see what else comes up. All right, so we have the High Priestess. So yeah, so we have a lot of intuition going on. Like you're like if you're in this channel, you're conscious, period. Like 100% you resonate with the consciousness. And you might be really connected with the inner world, even if you're not, I mean, you are aware. Like you're dead ass here. You're present, you're studying yourself. Like you're big for self-development. So everything that you've gone through, you like to transcribe, to use as wisdom. And I'm just noticing this person has the sword on one hand and this thing, the scale, on the other, right? The balance, the scale, I don't know, on the other. So the sword cuts. If you're a very good swordman, but also if the sword is sharp, that means you can make like a cut wherever it needs to be cut in a nice, precise way. Precision is very important, right? So I'm just going to go take all of this back just because in case I need to use them again. I like to see what else comes up. So let's talk about this devil energy, right? Let's see what else could come up. I split the deck, so there could be Two of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So you might have more than one option of where to go, where to invest your income, where to invest your energy and stability, right? We have the Three of Cups. So there could be a celebration coming up, like you can be enjoying your time, or that's what you were doing. And maybe, let's see, what else about the devil energy? What are the challenges? Any addictions? Ooh, the devil again. Wow, that's crazy. Anything else about this devil energy? All right, let's use another deck. Let's see. Anything else about this devil energy? The Queen of Swords. Here comes the King and the Queen. So it could be about someone else now, right? But the Tower happened. Something had to stop being the way it was. The Ten of Swords. So it was a painful thing. The Seven of Pentacles. I'm just gonna go ahead and read those. So let's see. The Queen of Swords. Lady of Revenge. Uh-oh. So this could be like the dark side, that you don't want that to control you. To, like, you don't want to function. And I mean, you're free to do as you want, but in a way, it's just gonna come back around in a way. So let's see. Lady of Revenge. Difficult character, sterility, rancor, or loss. So yeah, so there was a loss. It seems like in a relationship, definitely painful. Ten of Swords is the defeat of Horus, inability to act, momentary setback, pain, exhaustion. And it's crazy because we did have the Ten of Swords. It was like the lady tied around. So yeah, so that's confirming. That's 100% confirming. But what I often hear and know that like the Ten of Swords could be as well is that like the worst is over, right? Like how many more like the worst is over. So from here on out, you get to, from the Tower, you get to reconstruct. And let's just see the Seven of Pentacles. The Royal Diadem, recuperation, exchange, and gain. So yeah, so right now things are coming back around, and you might be like on the come up, right? Like you might just need to take some pause and maybe learn how to enjoy yourself with the Three of Cups, like the exchange and joyful moments with others or with yourself as well. But just being wary of this devil-like energy. Now if you know how to recognize it, you know what to cut, what to not let in. So like right now it feels like, let's say this is you, right? And you're protecting, like right now in here you have your mind and spirit, or your body and soul. You have the Knight of Pentacles, which is a businessman, which is services, right? So if this is, and you have Pentacles and Swords again, right? So there was something painful that happened, and this number is taking count: 2, 10, 7. So if something happened, it seems that like your masculine and your feminine are barriers right now. They're protecting your inner world, right? And this is what brings me back to this. Your inner world. If this is your spine and you went through like a spiritual awakening, or the Kundalini energy was like awakened, or you know, you were just like initiated per se. If you recognize what that means, then yes, then it would be easy. If you've never heard of that before, it just means that there are certain things, certain painful moments that kind of like make you shift your perspective, the way you look at things, that will never be the same. So that's basically it. And right now you're in your King and Swords of King and Queen of Swords energy, which it could be like you're protective of who's coming into your inner world. What do you share with others, right? While you reconstruct, like it's a personal matter anyway. So like so it just feels like it's like a little bit of the old energy, but then it's also something that you're working through right now. Like it's the holidays. Like how do you keep people out when it's like the time to come together with people, right? So we're gonna see. But then okay, so I'm sorry. If this is other people as well, if this is like the Lovers card came up, the Four of Wands, which is 1111, which is also like the Twin Flame card. So if this is involving someone else, and if there was a separation, it seems like you guys are giving the backs to each other. So there is a separation. There is the Tower, just, you know, completely fell through. So let's see what else we get. Any messages from Spirit? So commitment. So there was maybe a lack of commitment, but then maybe if you're reconstructing with this person again, there needs to be a commitment. Or if, let's say, if you're constructing with someone else, then this is what needs to happen, and this is what you know needs to happen, and the boundary is it's this way or nothing, like, you know. So let's split the card. Bond. So yeah, so this might be a very, very much like having to do with love, and sometimes there's bonds that like can't be cut no matter what. But let's see what else comes up. We got resistance. So there might be some resistance going on from, so right now, if there's anyone giving each other's like the backs to one another, there might be some resistance. going on, but you need to commit and strengthen the bond every time you trust that person. Like, crows are very loyal partners, and I don't know, let's see what else. So let's say if this is for business, right? Yeah, hold on, let's see what else comes up. What's the advice for the resistance? Any advice? Oh, yeah, this card. This deck is done. Thank you. Any advice for the resistance? Alright, we got a couple. So we have the King of Swords again with the King of Swords energy. We got strength. We got the Chariot and the Hangman. So we saw the Hangman before as well at the bottom of the deck. So there needs to be a decision needs to be made coming forth that requires your strength, but it comes from the perspective, right? If you're seeing things with a new perspective, once you get that perspective, once you back away and step away, you're going to be able to see clearly what that is. So let's see any advice for the inner world. Movement. So yeah, so sometimes, like, if you're going to move from one job to the other, it's going to require you to study and see what the other things are going to provide for you, right? Or like, also, if you don't know where to start with your body, move your body. It's also having the snake, the kundalini energy maybe being moved inside of you. So like, it's gonna, if it's uncomfortable, it is always uncomfortable. It's painful to see things a certain way, to be the odd one out, let's say in your family or something. It feels like there might be, like, there's resistance around you, like if you want to change things and nothing around you wants to change, but you're the only one who kind of wants to change. It's almost like, what can you control with the Chariot? It's like there might have to be a journey, or find what your clear purpose is in the situation that you're in. Play, it's requiring you also, so this is clarifying the Three of Cups energy, which is just like find the joy in little things, and the strength, with strength again. So it's asking, so this is a very challenging time for you, and just know that, like, whatever you're going through, you're going through it because you can handle it, and it's pushing you for growth. That's all I can, honest to everything, tell you. And sometimes, like, people are gonna ask, like, oh, how do you go through this, or how did you get through this? And it's like, you go through it. You feel the fucking anger, you feel the sadness, you feel the grief, you cry, you're on your floor, you pray, you go through the whole thing, and that's the process, that it has to move that energy out. Artists, if you're creative, if you're here, if you have a business, you create something. What can you do with this? You know, the High Priestess is about your intuition, so just following the right steps. At the top we have sacred sexuality, and at the bottom we have the wielding. So it's another Two of Swords. So it's like, it's asking you, like, clarity, the mental, like, once you know what to do, once you surrender and it feels like you know what to do, like, so sacred sexuality, it's like your sacral chakra, your creative energy. So whatever you're bringing forth into this world, into this reality, into your life, it's going to ask you for some play, like how to bring it forward lovingly and flowing, you know. So we're going to pick one of these, and you're going to notice a stop because my camera stops recording at 30 minutes, I think. So let's see. All right, one card. We got the flame. Okay, so my message for this is, the flame inside you can never be dimmed. Don't let it be dimmed, or it can never be turned off. So you might feel like, I'm at the end of it, like with the Ten of Swords energy. It's like, I'm at the end of it. I can't anymore. I don't want to do this. Like, just know that, hold on, I'm going to pause this. Okay. So just know that that flame is never going to run out. It's never it's your soul. It's like it's your vitality. It's never ending, you know. And let's see any advice from the wise spirit of the wheel. This one came up in a weird way. Life lessons, victory, and courage. So is strength, the power, inner strength, action, patience. So sometimes there is power in being patient. Sometimes if you're always constantly doing something or trying to do something to occupy your mind, it might be asking you to have the power, have the courage, have the strength to stay still for a little bit, to go within, to meditate, to just sit in silence for a change and see where that takes you. See where the mind, the higher forces that are with us all the time, the intuition, where that's going to lead you. And the life lessons come because it wants to help you grow. It wants to help, like through you, you can help so many other people. And right now we have the owl, the crow, the hawk or the falcon, and then we have the hummingbird. So, and we have roots. So there's a call to be planted. What are you planted on? What is the foundation that you're planting, that you're expanding your roots towards? And we have two feathers, you know, or three, symbolizes the freedom. There's also smoke, so there could be like a need to cleanse and purify your space, your spirit, yourself. That also came up earlier. We have 4 again, so that's also, forest could be significant. And just freedom. All these animals, there's just freedom. It symbolizes freedom, you know. Let's go ahead and see if any of these animals come back up. The spirit animal that's with you at this moment. Oh, okay, the beaver. The only one that flipped, because this is insane. And I saw the spider and the frog. So to me, all right, starting with, okay, we have 2 twos again. So starting with the beaver, it's a very hardworking individual. It works with wood. It swims, so land and water are significant. I also saw the dolphins and air, so it's like, so it's and you know, the roots, the moon. So there's something about, we got roots over here as well for the strength. So you're a very overall individual, and it's asking you for the strength for all of that at the same time, the temperance of bringing it all together or building everything simultaneously. It's asking you to be grounded, to be in touch with your emotions, to keep the flame going, right? To move and to work towards what you want. So that's that. We're gonna go see an affirmation for you. You can work with for however you want. You can, like, if you write a note, if you start a notebook, and you can have like an affirmation notebook, or if you have like a personal journal, and it's like a really good idea, like any affirmations that come up for you that resonate with you. Wow. So yeah, another one that's like all these animals. That's really, really cute. Look at that. It has like all the animals, and it has like this type of similar sigil looking thing. So this one says, I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on Mother Earth. She has dragonfly or like butterfly wings. There's runes. There's a frog, another frog. Oh yeah, so the frog, it's like taking the leaps forward, right? We have another hummingbird, an eagle, so it's the perspective. Hummingbirds are little creatures. I don't know what they mean, but maybe look it up. the wolf, we got, oh my gosh, so many. And in her hair, she's braided, it's braided, which there also may be a call to protect your energy, purify your energy. And at the end, it's like these little roots. So it's also asking for the strength to, like, how you're grounding yourself, like that. How are you grounding yourself? And if this involves someone else, what do you guys, what grounds this relationship? What grounds this bond or this connection with that other person? Let's see what else wants to come out. Any other messages? Positive messages that you need to hear that could help you at this moment. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So there's that hangman energy as well. Surrendering. At the bottom we say, energy flows where my intention goes. So yeah, so how are you taking an interest in life? I honor how I want to feel. So honoring your emotions, it just means that, like, it doesn't mean that you sit on them, right? It just means that I honor how I feel. If you feel angry, I honor that I feel angry right now. I honor that I feel grieved, sad. I'm open to not feeling this again. And and then now you focus. Now you plan for the future, and or wherever you want to go, because know that wherever your intention. So when you're doing things, are you having an intention towards it? Are you consciously doing it? Are you consciously showing up? And what is the energy that you're putting? Even if you're not even in the room and you're thinking of something, that's where your energy is going. So be aware of that. Just know that that flame will never turn off. All right, let's see. We got one over here. Exploration. So explore that flame. Explore your creativity. Explore the strength. Patience. So these words I like to pull out as reminders. So if they come up again, it's a confirmation for you as well. Kindness. So there are going to be moments that are going to come up for you that is going to ask you for strength and courage and patience, and that's where it shows how much you've learned, how you treat others in business. Like sometimes we say, I don't do business with people like this, or I don't want to work like this, or whatever it is. And it's like sometimes it's gonna put you in situations where, like, it's gonna show, like if you ask, oh, I need patience, then you're actually telling the universe, okay, we're gonna send you situations that are gonna be calling for you to be patient, you know. What else? Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's roll the dice and see at this time what energies from others, right? Others around you are gonna be benefiting you at this time. So Cancer, Mars. Mars is about action. It's also anger. So there might be, so maybe transmuting the anger. Cancer is a water sign, so fire and water right now, it's going to help you create that newness where you want to go. Let's see, the 6th house. Where's my cheat sheet? Okay, I'm so sorry. The 6th house is about health and fitness, systems, analytical nature, pets, work habits, organization, sense of usefulness, and service given. So there might be a call right now since the tower fell. If things ended, it's going to ask you to organize yourself. Take note of everything, organize from top to bottom. Like, there might have been, I'm so sorry for the ones that this resonates with. There might have been a death, and it could have been through cancer. And that came, that brought like a tower, and it might have severed a lot of, hurt. You might have been triggered with things, or there might be like a dissonance with whoever is involved, right? There might be something going on in there, but it's a call for attention for your health, like the strength where you're rooted in. And if that resonates with someone, I'm so sorry. Like, just know that the universe and your inner flame, like it's still there. Just tend to it and show up, explore other things, and have patience with yourself. You know, like this could be with someone else, but this whole reading could just be with yourself. How you show up to yourself, how can you service yourself? Like if you're expecting others to be there for you, don't wait for those things to happen. Just show up for yourself and go forward and explore what you need to explore, what you want to explore, what you're curious about. Dance, express it. There's so many forms of expression. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and use Bob Ross with the expression, his creative self. Let's see what would Bob Ross, or the artistic, for anyone who's artistic, what would they want to hear? Oh, these are too many. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna keep shuffling. Okay, this one is coming up. No pressure, just relax and watch it happen. So you might be giving yourself a lot of pressure, and that could be like burdensome, a lot of pain created because of that. And let's see, 2 more. And it's also a water, and it's showing water, so it could be like you might be feeling like you're drowning, and that's honestly not fair to you. We have just let your imagination go. You can create all kinds of beautiful effects just that easy. So yeah, so we're probably dealing with a situation where like everything needs to be perfect, but perfect comes from maybe your self-worth, maybe how you grew up. There's so many like examples, but like maybe a teacher, maybe a parent, maybe a caretaker. Someone made you feel like you weren't enough and you needed to qualify in all these different ways, but maybe you forgot your flame, right? And turn it on again. Just know that taking action towards the things that you want, by that listening to that sacred sexuality, like the flow of life, like how you move and dance, and music, what inspires you, just go with that. Energy flows where my intention goes. Go out on a limb, that's where the fruit is. So if this is a job, or if this is a romantic connection, someone is being asked to just go for it, you know? The frog, it was like, take the leap forward, have the strength to take the leap, leave behind what doesn't serve, and just like go out on the limb. And we got the Joker. Didn't you know you had this much power? You can move mountains, you can do anything. So I hope this is really empowering for you. I hope this serves you. To close it off, I would love to add a rune to this. So let's see, I'm just gonna pick one. We got this one. It looks like a little ziggity-zag. Ziggity-zaggy. It's like an S. Oh, but it's the sun. So the light, the sun, the flame. So we got a lot of solar plexus, fire energy, like, yeah, like really good energy. So, right. So it says, this rune, by virtue of representing the sun, is closely associated with the astrological sign Leo, which is ruled by the sun. This gives considerable insight into its meaning. Leo is a sign that likes to enjoy life and have fun, so that's that 3 of Cups energy, right? It is also a very proud sign, and one that likes to be at the center of things, basking in people's attentions. So if that's that ego, sometimes there needs to be a compromise in order to work with someone, to work out with someone in a relationship, romantically, familial, or even friendships. There needs to be a drop of the ego. You know, you have to put your ego aside in order to like work with someone. But obviously it doesn't mean to leave behind like things that you believe in, you know, like to let other people step on you, or treat you like shit, like garbage. So there's obviously that discernment. The high priestess is asking you to like listen to your intuition, what feels okay. And if you feel wrong about doing something, then it's like, okay, then I should correct this, I should do something about this. If you don't trust that person or that this space, the work environment, if it's asking you to like leave, you have to trust it. The longer you prolong it, the worse it's gonna get. Honest to everything. It says, does the sigil appear in a reading? It can imply that the querent has been overstretched of late and is in need of rest, to take time away from the pressures of everyday life and just enjoy him or herself. It may also signify that the querent is in a situation that he or she needs to take control of. Perhaps the querent has been worrying about something recently, yet was feeling unable to make any positive move to alter the situation. And this has left them feeling curiously out of sorts. So that's that Nine of Swords energy. Yeah. Um, Once again, the advice must be to return to the center of affairs and take control. So turning a blind eye doesn't help things, you know? The sun has traditionally been associated with the vitality and vigor, so the surrounding runes in this cast give some hint to the querent's state of health. On the other hand, the sigil is close to very positive runes. This means that the querent is at the peak of his or her powers. Sigil can further be seen as the principle of guiding light, the beacon, that flame that lights the way. Oh my god, the flame. So, wow. So, let's say if you are the guiding flame, if you are the flame that turns other flames on, if you're someone that spreads kindness, spreads patience, and shows this example for others, and you connect with nature, and you're in a balanced way, and you just like, you're very tuned in energy, and you're just going through, and like maybe this is someone else's energy, then it might be asking you to learn how to cleanse your energy, because coming in contact with other people that have a lot of things going on, problems, heavy emotions, sometimes we carry that remaining, and like tug on our energy. So like, so grounding yourself might be a more benefiting, if you've never done it before. This could be an advice for someone near you, if you know that they're always like stressed, and you see them that they're always the one that are showing up, like finding the common ground for everybody else, showing up for everybody else, and at the end of the day, like they're left alone, or they go through whatever they go through alone. It's asking to cleanse so you can show up again in a better way, right? Um, let's see, where was I? So on the material level, its appearance may well signify that the querent is in need of help, needing someone or something to arise and show them the way forward. This may also be true on a spiritual level, in which sigil, may signify that the querent should seek or will soon find a spiritual guide. So yeah, this is connecting to your high priestess energy and honoring Mother Earth. So like, I feel like that's how there could be like spirit animals coming around you. We saw the beaver. Where is it? The beaver. The lion for Leo. Like, we got the crows, we got the hummingbird. So there's a lot of energies, let's say, available for you in this moment to seek help from. And with that, I'm just gonna close this reading here. I hope that you enjoy it. And actually, let me see any messages from nature. Like, let's say opportunities. Unfurl like a fern even without warm sunlight. So even if you think there's no flame, go for a walk and just make the opportunities. Sometimes you find opportunities, just follow those opportunities, explore the opportunities. And if you don't see them, then make them. It's like, hey, today I will, like, scratch out a time, find the organization, organize your life enough to yeah, like the journaling, like how are you going to start this year, how are you going to set the year forward. So Mars is drive and energy, sexuality, desires. So if you're dealing with like partner, the ambition, the male energy, the impulse, there could also be projections, like the negative side of things. Like if there's projections that you're dealing with, um, maybe if you are projecting or if others are projecting with you, just find the kindness and the patience to deal with that. And Cancer is about internalization, emotional bonding, birth given from within, and nurturance. So I'm also getting this other message about sometimes we bond with people based on like trauma bonding, right? So if something, oops, this two just fell. So if two things, if you were like in relationships that started because of trauma bond, just know that they're gonna end. They're bound to end if one of you outgrow the other, or so like the bond that was created might have not been in a stable location, in a stable place, emotionally or spiritually or even physically. So it says, learn, take a lesson from the owls. Oh, the owl came up in the other card as well. Deeply observe the night and you'll become a little wiser in the day. There was a lot of moon energy, so the night is asking for the silence, stillness, um, presence, ideally. And origins, remember your roots. So a lot with the roots that stood out to me. This is a confirmation for anybody. And I hope you really, really enjoy this reading. I'm going to go ahead and close it with a sound healing. So go ahead and take a breath. All right, thank you so much. Have a beautiful night. Subscribe to my channel and comment if this resonated.